At Lockhart Smokehouse, we found up the great smoked meat classics that made Lockhart the barbecue capital of Texas, right here in DFW, with locations in Dallas Bishop Arts District, downtown Plano, and Texas Live in Arlington. Come try some of our mouth-watering brisket, sausage, ribs, and other meats all smoked over Texas post oak. Rounded off with some Southern classic sides and some Smith family favorites. Check us out at www.lockhartsmokehouse.com. Catering available.
Coach, if you'll introduce your three student athletes.
Here we have Isaac Song, offensive left tackle, Ansel Dimbu, defensive tackle, and Lawson Moore, defensive end.
Coach, just your initial thoughts about winning the state title today.
Well, the biggest thing is the way we started this year, going 0-2, and no one expected us to be where we're at today. But these kids worked their tails off from start of the year. Well, actually, they started about November of last year after the SOC loss, and they have gotten better, literally. And I know all coaches say that, but these kids have literally gotten better every day from all season through preseason, the district season, and even the playoffs. And these seniors, these three guys right here are seniors, and they did a tremendous job bringing our young players, the juniors and the sophomores and the freshmen that are on our team, bringing them along and not letting them get their heads down, not letting them get too much into themselves, and make sure that they understood it was a team game, and that was the only way we were going to get better.
Questions?
Coach, we talked on Tuesday about the keys to the game. You mentioned offensively, the line of scrimmage and blocking the down guys, defensively stopping the quarterback and running back. I mean, it really seemed like your kids today really executed on all cylinders. Talk about that.
Offensive line, we knew that we would struggle. College Station is a really good football team, and their defensive front seven were really strong and really fast. So we knew it was going to be a struggle trying to block them and run the football, and we did what we needed to do running the football. That opened up our passing game for us. Defensively, our defense just kept getting better and better. It was good when we started, but it kept getting better and better. And the game plan we had was worked to a charm, except for the unsportsmanlike penalties at the end.
Can you talk about Jalen Pope? I mean, he set a 5A state championship game record in receiving yards. To do it in his last game. Talk about that.
Well, Jalen is another one of those kids that has been a program guy. He actually started in the 2020 state championship game when he was a sophomore, and had a good game for a sophomore that year. And he has just continued to grow. Literally, he's gotten bigger and stronger and faster every year. There's a reason why the United States Air Force wanted him to come play football. He's that type of kid. I didn't know that he had set a record. It's pretty impressive.
How important was it to get out to such a quick start?
Quick starts are a heck of a lot better than slow starts. I can tell you that right now. But especially against these guys, our thought process was, if we can get a fast start, and get them down, then it will make things a little bit easier for us, and it worked just like we thought.
Did choosing to elect to receive when you won the toss play into that? Because a lot of teams have just deferred.
I've deferred once this year, and it was last week in the rain, and I knew the wind was going to change directions, and that's the only reason I did it. No, we wanted the football. We felt like they were good on offense, and most of the time this year we've taken and scored points on the opening possession.
Buck, you talked about the offense and defense. Your special teams were really big today too, with the early return by Jack, and then last week with the huge punt return. Both set you up really well. You talk about special teams.
Well, Dustin Lloyd, our special teams coordinator, he and Coach Kirk do a really good job with them, and we put really good players out there. They're not all starters on the offense or the defense, but they take their job seriously, and we work a bunch on special teams. I mean, we a lot of people give it a lot of lip service, but we work on special teams, and our kids really did a good job of it today.
Coach Haas had Haiti, obviously 4 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. He's making plays in both facets of the game. Can you talk about his performance today?
Well, you know, Haas is last year he played slot receiver for us, and you know, it was really a quarterback battle going in because Brant Hayden's the backup quarterback's really good, and it was quite the battle. And coming out of spring ball, we still didn't know, and then we go into the season and we kind of rolled them both in. But Haas's athleticism helped him win the job, and where Haas has improved is his process of not getting in a hurry, going through his reads, and finding the right spot to throw the football. And he did a really good job of that tonight.
Lawson and Ansel, just talk about the defense. I mean, you guys always said you try to get better each and every week. Last week, especially in the second half, you guys shut down Longview, and now you hold College Station to 2 late touchdowns, but for the most part, you dominated. Just talk about the defense tonight.
I'd definitely say it starts in practice. I mean, even when we were 0-2, we were still going out there every morning, playing hard, practicing hard, and just trying to get better. And Coach McComb, he emphasizes that a lot, and he's very hard on us in practice. And it correlates to the game, because when we get in the game, it's nothing new to us. We're in practice, we're head hunting. We get in the game, we got a head hunt, and we play as one. That's what a lot of people don't do. They don't play as one defense. One dude is always trying to make plays, and they're not playing responsibilities, but we play very gap-sound defense, and I think that shows.
As well as Coach Buck always talks about, the state championship winner is going to be who's willing to practice the longest. So we always take pride in practicing hard.
Buck, Tepper tweeted out that you're one of 5 coaches in state history with 8 championships. Wood, Moore, Surratt, Burkhart. To have your name in that conversation, what's that mean to you?
Well, what it means is I've had a bunch of really good assistant coaches and really good football players. That's what it means. I mean, there's not one of those guys did it because they were a great coach. They did it because they had good players now. And what a good coach does is he puts the right players in the right spot at the right time, and I think that's what we've done in Aledo. And it's really neat to be in that group, but in all honesty, it's because of the kids and the coaches that have worked for us in Aledo and played for us in Aledo.
We talked last week after the Longview game. You said you were confident that your teammates were going to finish this job. A little bittersweet that you couldn't be out there with them, but now that that job has been finished, what are your thoughts? Because you were a big part of getting to this point, and Buck, I'd like you to comment on that too. What are your thoughts now that your teammates have finished the job and you all are leaving with the championship?
Well, yeah, it's amazing that we won this, and it was just the next man up. We just had to find the right people. They just had to really work, and we had to move people around, shift the line a little bit, but it was just really that we all had the same desire, which was to win this, and that was just the main thing.
Because it'd be easier as you compare, which of your state titles you like the most, but there's 8 of them. I'm not here to test your memory this late in the game, but talk about how special this one is, considering you started off 0-2, and you kind of push you off a little to the side, not a lot, but a little bit, and you kind of come up through the win.
There's no doubt this one is extremely special. Number one, because it's the one we just won, but the fact that we had to work so hard to get here, and kids never quit. Kids never quit. Coaches never quit. There's never one day we walked in and we said, "Man, we're just not getting it. Yeah, we just need to give up." Nothing like that ever happened. These kids are a great group of young men, and they're going to be very successful in life because of the work ethic that they developed this year. And yeah, winning the football game was pretty neat, but the work ethic that they have developed is unbelievable, and it is a special. they're all special. There's no one that's more special than the other, but this one's really special because of these kids right here.
To the players, obviously, you know, for teams, it's hard enough to win one state championship. Aledo's won 11. What's it like playing for a program like Aledo, where that's kind of the bar every year? And how special is it to add another state championship in the trophy case?
I mean, like Coach Buck, he always tells us that if you take care of the little things, winning will take care of itself. And we just take pride in that. We take pride in tackling, we take pride in blocking, and that's what football is. And I mean, every year it's a new team. Everyone always says, like, you know, we're going to add on to the legacy, but I think a lot of people forget that, you know, we also won for ourselves. We had to work for it too, because it's definitely not given. I mean, if you go back to last year, we lost to South Cliff. I mean, everyone assumed we would win the game because we won before, but it's not given at all. We had to work for this one. We worked really hard. We had to buy in, and I feel like that's something that we really did, and we did the little things, which is why we're here.
Like you've said before, each team has its own identity. What would this team's identity be? Its resiliency?
I really think it's more of team play. You know, because every week it's a different guy that's the MVP of the game. It has not been the same player every week, but both offensively and defensively and on special teams. So the fact that they're a team is probably what characterizes this team more than maybe more than any team we've had. Or the '98 team was similar to this. Most of y'all weren't born then, but it was very similar.
One question? All right, thank you guys. Congratulations.